Greetings, Richard Nikoley, freetheanimal.com. This is my third video today, so yeah, I was up at 4:45 and 6 o'clock I got on my motorbike and did a couple videos, one on Rawai Beach and one up on Promtep Cape. And those, I'll publish them in order. So this is the third video of the day. I'm going to do two more after this, believe it or not, but all in different settings. I picked this setting. It's called VV Resort. So you see the rooms behind me, pool, and then right in front of me is the bar, and in order food, the restaurant's up front. It's a great place, and as long as you order something, you can swim, right? No additional charge. Iced tea. On my week 4 of no alcohol, completed week 4. So I picked this place because, I don't know, it must have been about a month ago I was in here and literally got picked up by a woman who, not a bar girl, never worked in the bar. She has a new car she paid cash for. She has property, everything, but took a liking to me, but she ended up being crazy. I mean, it was like weird. I'm not gonna tell the story. Maybe someday, but just weird, right? And you get a lot of that here. At any rate, the story is about last week when I did the. Let me back up. What caused me to make this video is some of you know Anthony Colpo. You know, wrote a cholesterol book a long time ago. He's a fitness diet blogger. Has been for a long time, and one time had, you know, pretty great popularity. He's a great writer, writes long, detailed posts, does his research, and so on. And he's a pretty good buddy of mine. I exchange emails with him from time to time. Whereas way back in the day, there's animus towards him, but that's all water under the bridge. Anyway, he wrote a post that came out this morning about sexual assault, and it turns out that you know, violent crime went down from sometime in the, I think, early 90s till about 2013, and sexual assault lagged behind that, so it went down too, but not quite as much. And then in 2013, it's gone up, and it kind of coincides with the big advent of the dating apps, you know, like the Match and Tinder, and, you know, all the ones. And he's right in that it's kind of a lousy way to avoid face-to-face, but I'm gonna like quibble with it a little bit here. I hated him. I hated him until the breakup with Yui a few weeks ago. I said, well, let's give it a shot, but with some severe limitations. So I loaded up Tinder, because a lot of Thai girls use Tinder, and they use 3 basically: Tinder, Thai Friendly, and Thai Cupid. I have Tinder and Thai Friendly, and believe me, it's more than enough. I mean, I wake up to an inbox full, you know. In Western countries, guys complain about they never get, they don't get action. Women have their, you know, their stuff, messages and likes and all that stuff, just replete every morning when they look at it. So it's not quite like that for me, but I get significant amount. But in using it as a tool, what I do is I have it limited in distance from where my phone is to like just a few kilometers, and there's plenty. You know, so I'll see somebody and I'll click on like, you know, instead of nope. And, you know, I mean, it's almost like half the time it'll go boom, it's a match, which means that she's already liked me, but you don't know that. You have to pay to find out who likes you, right? I just rather go by random. Both of them I use for free, and once you're hooked up like that, and you can message each other pretty much at will, except for Thai Friendly has like a 10-minute. If you're free, it's like you can send a message like once every 10 minutes. But of course, the thing to do is you just immediately exchange your coordinates on the app called Line, which all Thais use, and then you're unencumbered. So anyway, to get to the point of this video, so last Sunday, a week ago today, I included Surat in that video. If you saw my 3 weeks of no alcohol video, pretty woman, 41 years old, looks like she's 30, and has her house almost paid off, has a nice car, and I did some handiwork at her house last week, and it's a nice house. I mean, it's not like fantastic, but it suits her and the needs of her two daughters, 13 and 9, whom I've not met. But anyway, so I met her on Thai Friendly, and she had already, you know, hit like on me. So when I showed the interest, boom, we were connected, and that was on a Friday. We had, so this goes back to my quibble with Anthony. As long as you use it as a tool, so it's a tool to filter, connect with somebody, but then you immediately go for the off app communication, and you immediately go for a in-person meeting. I will not, you know, if they hem and haw and ask me, you know, I'll answer a few questions or whatnot, but typically, I mean the ones that I'm matching up with are within 2 or 3 kilometers. You can literally walk, you know, to go see them. You don't have to drive across town or do anything like that, right? Now Surat, she's about 10-minute drive away. So that was that, but that's the, I've since limited it even further. Half the time it's like less than a kilometer away. Boom. Hey, you wanna meet up right over here? Coffee, smoothie, something like that. So I go right for that. So it's a great way to get like dates like on the spot within hours, right? So used in that context, so you've already like satisfied, like there's some level of chemistry, and so that, you know, that's just on basically looks. The photos are 85% of it, profile maybe 15%. You know, what you do and, you know, habits like smoking and drinking and stuff like that. But I'm talking 20-something years old girls, and many of, sure, there are plenty of bar girls, there are plenty of massage girls, there are plenty of freelancers, but oftentimes they're right up front about that, you know. And so I just say, you know, hey, nothing against it. I know you work hard, but I'm using these apps to I can go to a bar anytime I want. I can go to a massage parlor anytime I want. I can go to bars where there's freelancers anytime I want. You know, easy. And so, but I use the apps to you know, find, and it's so easy. And for me, because I just chat up girls all the time, I have zero trepidation or hesitancy. I see a girl I like, no matter where, in a bank, in a supermarket, in a convenience store, walking down the street or something like that, I'll just start talking to her. And sometimes they'll just start talking to me. It's like, it's very organic and very cool here. It's natural and normal. It's not like the games and shit tests and just like, just the behavior of the Western chick sometimes. It's like such hubris, such haughtiness, such stuck upness. The Thai girls are humble. You know, they're oftentimes surprised that you even show interest in them. You know, so you know, it's good. Anyway, to get on with the story, we're all right for time. Yeah, already. Yeah, I'm so long-winded. So I started out on Sunday for lunch, or Saturday for lunch. Connected like Friday night, met for Saturday for lunch. Then she came and did the video with me. After the video's over, she brings up the subject of sex. You know, I'm not going to get into details, but you know, I don't know whether it was suggestive or like opening a door or whatever, but I really wasn't interested in the time at the time, simply because of just the breakup. And you know, I have no problem with I have no qualms about just, you know, having sex for the sake of sex. You know, but this would be to advance a relationship, and I didn't want to get into that sticky territory, not being ready. And now I'm kind of glad I did. So let's see, that was 2 days in a row, Saturday and Sunday. Monday she hits me up to go out to dinner at this Thai seafood place, which I did, and we walked down the pier, which must have been like, it's a long pier, so out and back. And that was Monday night. And then Tuesday is when I went and did the handyman work at her place. Just a few items that she couldn't do, like her sliding glass doors were off their tracks, and so they were stuck open. But it was in the separate room in the house. It's its own room, and where she has her treadmill and stuff like that. I was able to fix that, and one other sliding door thing into the kitchen. And she said, "Wow, I thought you could only work on computers." So there was that. And then Wednesday was my moving day, and she offered to help me because she has a car. So I was going to have to rent a car because I've accumulated more stuff than just a backpack. You know, it's not a whole lot, but it fits in one carload. And so she did. So she comes out, meets me at the Home Pro, which is like a Home Depot where I bought a table for my computer, and I said, "Hey, let's go to this pub close by for dinner, and then we'll go do the move." You know, I had everything staged at the house, and the computer table was already in the car. She says, "Okay," and so we go over there, and I order. It's a pub owned by an Australian. I order beef stew with mashed potatoes. And she orders a tuna Caesar salad. And it took almost an hour to get the food that requires no cooking. You know, that I'll tell you, I was perturbed. I was perturbed just because of the incompetence of it, and also just the way Thailand is. You know, all the servers and staff are Thai, and you're not going to get anybody come and say, you know, "Hey, it's taking long. There was a big party and da da da, and you know, we're short-staffed." So you know, nothing at all. And so I was getting perturbed, and when I get perturbed, I use language. And so she didn't say anything at the time. In fact, she remarked that times when she hadn't gotten her meal in 30 minutes, she just leaves. So I'm like, yeah, why not? But it was like almost an hour. Now, fortunately, the beef stew was one of the best I've ever tasted. I mean, seriously, I was like going, every bite. I put in a review on Google, and I dinged them 1 star for the you know, service. And I finished off her Caesar salad after she was done with it, and the Caesar dressing was awesome. You know, just the hint of the anchovy in it and stuff. So anyway, I thought everything was okay. When we did the move, and when she took me back, because I'd left my motorcycle at Home Pro, and got out, and I kind of sensed this this bit of a cold shoulder, but I dismissed it. And then the next day I said, hey, how about if I cook for you, and I'll do some grilled pork chops. She likes grilled pork chops, grilled pork in general, and some mash, and maybe a tarragon chicken stock reduction, something like that, some vegetables. And she said something like, she expressed concern about the language that I used, and then she followed it up with, I'm afraid. And I'm like, well, I'm a Farang. You've never had a Farang boyfriend or anything like that before. I said, a lot of us are intense, so on. And I didn't tell her this, but as an aside, I find not all, many Thai males to be more like females to me. Extremely emotional, unbelievably emotional. You need to be kind of careful what you say, for fear of them, or caution of them just going off into a rage, because you've somehow insulted them, or they've lost face or something. This whole Asian face saving thing is one reason why so many of these countries are economically depressed, because you know what, sometimes people need to be told, hey, that's fucked up. No, it's bullshit, it's crap, in their face, to their face. That's a hallmark of Western civilization. It's justice. It's everybody gets what they deserve. So if you're a fuck up, you need to be told you're a fuck up. Not like, oh, well, I can't say anything bad, right? Well, then they just you're not helping them by doing that. Anyway, so this goes on. And, yesterday I said, okay, I'm kind of getting your message that you don't want to see me anymore. And then she follows that right up. It's like, oh, I just, and also she told me she's on her period, so I don't know how much that is part of it. And I hate to use that, but I do know, emotions can swing and stuff like that during that, 4 or 5 days, right? I understand it. It's real. It's just like if you're feeling crappy, you maybe have a shorter fuse or less patience or whatever it may be. So that's fine. So I thought, well, that should be done with Monday. But anyway, said, I'm getting the message that you don't want to see me anymore. And she comes back and she says a bunch of stuff. It's just like, I don't understand. I'm stressed and I'm unhappy. Well, that signals that there's some feelings there, but she doesn't know what to do. I said, look, I said, I'm intense, I'm high IQ, I'm a high achiever, and things like that. And maybe you've never, and I'm benign. And also, the age difference. You're 41, I'm 61. That's 20 years, right? I don't explain myself. I'm self-assured, I'm self-confident. I don't need to explain myself. I've already done far too much explaining, because it's like, well, you don't want to see me, fine. That's the way it goes, right? And but then she keeps sending me food pics and cooking for her daughters and stuff, and all these things really signal that. That's why I've done this, is because since 1986, when I encountered my first Thai girl in Pattaya Beach, so that's 35 years ago, and dozens since then, they're largely a mess, really. But the sexual element of it is a lot of fun. It's nothing like Western Catholic culture whatsoever. I mean, a Thai girl gets horny or aroused, there's a chemistry there, no telling what can happen, and happen quick. So that's cool. I was in the bank the other day. I had this crazy problem in Bangkok Bank. I left my damn ATM in the machine again. Here in Thailand, you know, everywhere else, you get your card back first and then they give you the cash, because you ain't walking away without your cash, right? But here the cash comes out first and then you gotta wait for the card. Well, you know, so many times I just like, okay, get the cash, put it in my wallet, and I walk off. And then later I'm like, Jesus Christ. This like happened a dozen times in 2.5 years. I go to the bank and they replace it in 5 or 10 minutes. Well, in this particular instance, the girl is inspecting my signature, because they make a copy of your passport and you gotta sign it. So then she's inspecting it with, compared to my signature on like the bank book or something like that. She says, oh, it doesn't match. I'm like, nobody ever asked that. What's the problem? I said, look, my picture's on the passport. Here's my 2 driver's licenses, car and motorcycle, picture on it. Look, here's my banking app on the phone. And I do the password, see? You know, nope. So I do it, I said, okay, I do it again. And she says, no, can you do it again? I said, I don't do bullshit. Please give me my passport and my bank book, and I was out of there. And then I went home and I went on to Bangkok Bank's website and put in explain the situation, That night I get a call from the bank manager, and she invites me to come in the next day on Saturday. And 40 something, just adorable, hot really, you know. And she's so nice to me. She's like touching my arm and stuff. Kun Richard. Kun is like sir. And so I've got her number. So and she wants to call me about, you know, some investments or something like that or something. So we'll see how that goes. Bank manager. Yeah, it's like it's prospects every damn day. So that's why I'm not so worried about this one. Even though she has, what I was saying is, she has her life together really well. The best I've seen in 35 years, right? And with dozens. So it's pretty cool. And so right now she's getting the silent treatment. This morning we're doing back and forth, and I said, you know, I was thinking about how you brought up this subject of sex a week ago, and you told me some things. You want to hear some from me? And she says, no. And so I'm like, all right, silent treatment. So until she'll come back to me. They always do. First you don't read their message. Don't click in, because it'll show on the other side if it's been read. So you don't read it for hours and hours and hours. Then you read it, and it'll show to them that it's read it, but you don't reply. Right? And depending on what she says, I'll just, when I do reply, I'll say, are you ready to meet yet? And if it's anything but yes, then I'll leave the door open for a while. But until she says yes, she gets the silent treatment. I think I'll win this one. But if I don't, I've already got, like, in fact, I blew off a girl who's a maid up in Kata, but she lives at Naiharn. We going again now? Okay. So it cut off. So anyway, what I was saying is I messaged her, and I said, did you work at what's the place? Something Big Monkey. So it was a restaurant, bar restaurant, more restaurant and everything. I know the owner Goy, who's really really hot, but too aloof for me. Even though I used to talk to her quite often. It's just, yeah, that's what I learned. So working on that one. But 20 years old, that's just for a short period of fun, if that happens. Anyway, so that's where the things stand, and you know, don't you, you know, I know these are serious problems I'm having here. And I'm sorry to make some of you guys feel bad, but hey, dude, you know, now that COVIDiacy is like on the down, you know, book a flight out here. Look me up. I'll show you some ropes. Right? And I guess that's about it. And that's why, this is why, you know what? Here's the thing. You don't fucking need alcohol for any of this. And you're good. Actually, it has just exploded for me since dumping the alcohol. Seriously, right? And it's like, wow, why would I ever want to go back when I'm like, you know, just have these chicks all the time in their 20s and 30s, and I know that greatly offends people, especially a lot of the Western women who have passed their sexual attractiveness threshold for many guys. But you know, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry about that, and I hope you have somebody who loves you and whatnot. Whereas the excitement of the sex, I'm well aware that old people can have really exciting sex. I'm trying not to be too, you know. But all I'm saying is that I'm having an awesome time, and given the choice, I will take the young, sexy body, even though it's at a trade-off of a really silly mind. Often enough, it's not the problem. You know, living in what I call lie land isn't the problem. You know, it's just the way things are done. The problem is not recognizing the terrain. You got to know the terrain, and you got to know what motivates Thai women, right? And they think, you tend to think, well, oh, they're having sex with you because they perceive you have money or something like that. They want it. No, they want safety and security as a fundamental if they're looking for a long-term relationship, and they esteem that the older. That's why a lot of them like older guys. They're more established. They have a proven track record. You know, hey, they're living in Thailand and they're older, so they must have done a lot of things right in their life. You know, they're together, right? So then the safety and security attracts them. But the horniness is all over the map, right? You know, if they get horny, aroused, then they're doing it for the enjoyment of the sex. It's not Christian culture. Got to get that through your head, right? They have no idea of what Christian morals are. Zero idea. Zero concept. None. Should try it out. Okay. Have a good day. 2 more videos to go, and I'm thinking about settings. One of them I'm going to do in front of a boxing ring that I live next to. All right, that's later. All right, bye.